Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about setting up Affinity Studio inside of Linux. Now this is one of the best photo editors that I have ever seen, and not only it is a photo editor, but also it can work with vector images and also do Illustrator type of work. So you can create flyers, notebooks if you really wanted to, or media material. So that is an excellent piece of software, and we're going to set it up today with Wine. So kick back, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of drink, and let's dive right in. Okay, welcome back to Affinity Studio on Linux Mint. Now this is the best program that I have ever used, and I use it daily to create all of my different thumbnails for YouTube, and it's literally amazing. So as you already know, it does support vector work, pixel work, layout, and even the premium version has Canva AI, which we don't really need. The free version is more than enough for everyday use, and we're going to talk about how to set it up on your computer. We have a special few steps to follow. Now, if you just go ahead to Google and search Linux Affinity installer, let me just, copy this text and you can just paste it into Google, into DuckDuckGo, whatever you use. And this is going to be the first link. This is AffinityOnLinux, or as it was known previously, Linux Affinity installer. So this is our page. This is where you would want to go, and this has all the details of what you would need to do to install Affinity on Linux. What I would suggest is you go ahead and take a look at this command. So this is the curl command. You don't have to understand anything about it if you don't know, but basically it's pulling a script from this person's GitHub repository, Ryzen Do, I guess that's how you say his name. So from Ryzen Do's repository, it's pulling a script and it's installing everything onto your computer. So we are going to run this script, but before that, we do have a few prerequisites. Now, as for the prerequisites, I did have a file saved on my computer. Let's just go to Documents in Affinity. So you do have a few things you need to install on your computer before you can run that curl command. So let's open up Terminal, put it over to one side, get this over to another side. You're going to install Python 3 pip. If you don't have pip, you're going to go and paste this into your terminal, hit enter. It's going to ask you for your password, hit it, and it's going to install all of this, right? And next up, you have to install PyQt6. Again, you copy this over, you paste it inside here, hit enter, and it's going to install that as well. And as for the last step, you have to install Qt6 SVG dev. After these, what you do is basically, let's just open up Firefox again, and let's copy the curl command into our terminal. So this is the curl command. I'm going to provide links to all of this down in the description. You're not going to have a problem. So let's just copy this and right click and paste, and you have to run it on your terminal. So once it runs, as you can see, we get a beautiful program with the name Affinity on Linux, giving you a status and log, and it says ready. And you do have a terminal over here giving you logs of everything. So it says the installer is ready, startup performance, it gives you a ton of metrics, and everything that happens in this application, you're going to see a terminal log for that particular step, right? And if you want to install Affinity on Linux, basically you click this one click full setup. This will install everything that you need. It will install Wine, it would install Winetricks, and inside Wine you also have to install Wine Mono. Basically you have to click next, and it's going to install everything for you, right? Or if you wanted to take it apart, do it piece by piece, you could also individually set up the Wine environment, install system dependencies, install Winetricks dependencies. Now all of these are only a single click away. You click on this and it tells you if you want Wine 11, Wine 10, or a legacy wine. Spoiler alert, it installs all of these three because you might want to change them if something stops working. So that happens as well. If you want to install system dependencies, it would ask you for your password, and it would update the package lists and do its thing, right? We're not going to do it. If you want to install Winetricks dependencies, again, everything is going to be here. It's going to install the .NET framework 3.5 and 4.8, I think, and it's going to do all of that for you. Now, because I have everything already set up, it's basically giving a check mark to everything, but that's not going to be the case when you first download. You can also go ahead and download the Affinity installer separately, install from File Manager. So you could technically download Affinity from here and then point it to there, but you could do that. But why would you do it if everything is basically a one click? If you want to go ahead with troubleshooting, you can switch the Wine version. So it will show you this. It will remove the current Wine version. I don't want to do that. You can change Wine configurations, Winetricks, set Windows 11 plus renderer, GPU selection. So I have it on my NVIDIA graphics card. You can also switch to DXVK. Now by default it uses VK-D3D, and that's better. That translates DirectX 12 calls to Vulkan calls, but if you switch to DXVK, even though that has a lower overhead, it translates DirectX 11 calls. So that's that. You can also reinstall Wind metadata, and you do have a ton of other settings, including DPI scaling, fix all the settings, uninstall everything completely. So this is just another one button procedure. Return the colors, install the Affinity plugin loader, and everything. This is the Affinity suite, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is running perfectly on Linux. It's a little bit too small because I have this set to 1440p, 200%, so the scaling doesn't work sometimes, but this is only for the video. If you had a 1080p monitor, a 1440p 100% monitor, this wouldn't have been a problem. So once inside Affinity, basically you can do whatever you want to. For example, I have a file, so let's just go ahead and open this file. Actually, you know what? Let's just try dragging and dropping a file. So I had a screenshot from earlier. Let's just try dragging the screenshot. And there you go. The screenshot drag worked. And if I were to make a thumbnail for the video, what I would do is maybe try and download the Linux Mint logo from here. So this is the Linux Mint logo. Go ahead and try to get this. Save image as, and then I would just save the PNG wherever I want to, and then I would go ahead to my downloads, and then I would put the Linux Mint logo into here. Now once inside, basically I can drag it and I can rotate it. I don't want to rotate it. I can decrease the size, so there you go. That seems decent enough. And there you have it. You can also right click and put layer effects. So these are layer effects, and let's enable outer shadow. So let's go ahead and drag these sliders. A little bit of the offset and intensity I think is perfectly fine. You could also set a outer glow from here, so the Linux logo is glowing just a little bit if you wanted that dramatic effect. And if you wanted to type in some text, you can open the text box. You can, I guess, press T for the text box, and let's increase the font size, and let's say Affinity on Linux. That's it, right? Like, this is a pretty basic workflow, but I think it's perfectly fine, right? I can change the, let's change the alignment. So Affinity on Linux, we can change the logos, I mean the fonts. Let's go with, I don't know, let's go with something, let's say, let's go with Arial Black. That's pretty huge, so we're gonna reduce the size just a little bit. Affinity on Linux, and it gives you a scale. So this is the middle, and we can change the color. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's pick white because that's what I love. And over to coming down to layer effects, we can just put a outer shadow in here. Let's go ahead and increase the radius just a little bit, give it a slight offset. So just like that, my Linux thumbnail is ready, and I think it looks decent. It looks excellent. This is generally what I would do if I was making my video, and I think that looks pretty good. We can export this file. So go ahead to export, and then JPEG. Let's click JPEG because that's what we want for a video, and let's click export. And now this is going to export into the Windows default location, whatever. So when you install Affinity through Winetricks, it's going to install in a different location, and that is basically you go to home and you have to enable show hidden files. So once you enable show hidden files, you will see that it does have a .AffinityLinux folder. Inside .AffinityLinux folder is where the installation resides. So you have DXVK, patch, VK3D3, VKD3D DLLs, drive C. So it's probably going to be here under program files. So there you go, we do have Affinity, and this is the entire installation of Affinity. When you're actually going to export this file, I think what you have to do is click on the root. This is the root folder, and inside root folder you can choose the place where you would want to save it. So let's go to home, and inside home, this is my name, Anirban. This is where all my documents are. Let's go ahead and open, I don't know, let's say pictures. Inside pictures, we can save this actually. And if you go to files and then open pictures, there, my thumbnail is ready. How cool is that? So that's literally the entire process. I mean, of course, I don't do a lot of vector art or Illustrator works. I literally don't bother with those, but you can do these as well. Like switching takes only a second, and as you can see, this is pretty smooth. You do have a few graphical glitches, but that's not going to stop you from actually creating your thumbnails, your Illustrator PDF notebooks, or your vector art. So I think with that, we come to the end of the video. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.